So now everyone, please get your Target Grammar Book 2 and please turn to page 44. So please turn to page 44. Good. So now we're on page 44. Now so we use how many, how much, how often, how old, and how tall to ask someone information that we want. So we use like how many students are in the class? How much is the marker? How often do you go swimming? How often do you play football? How old are you? How old is your brother? How old are they? How tall are you? How tall is your younger brother? So how tall is Tom? Good. To ask information that you want to know. So now let us do the question with how many. Ask for quantities of countable nouns. Countable nouns. Countable nouns are words that you can count. Like for example, like chairs. How many chairs are in the class? How many students are in the class? You can count 1, 2, 3, 4. Chairs 1, 2, 3, 4. Markers. How many markers do you have? Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 markers. They are countable. Okay, good. For example, how many boys are there in the swimming pool? And we answer, there are 3 boys in the swimming pool. If there is 1, we say there is a boy in the swimming pool. Okay? How many boys are there in the swimming pool? There is a boy in the swimming pool. But there are 3. There are 3 boys in the swimming pool. How many horses are there on the hill? There are 10 horses on the hill. How many turtles are there on the stone? There are 2 turtles on the stone. How many sheep? How many sheep are there on the grass? There are 5 sheep on the grass. Good. How many people are there in the park? There are 50 people in the park. Good. Now let us go to number 2. Number 2. Good. So now we go to number 2. How much? Good. Good. Now there are 2. We use how much for uncountable nouns. For example, rice, mud, for example, money, coffee, water, milk, uncountable. Okay, so remember, money is uncountable because you cannot say I have 1 money, 2 money, 3 money. But you can say I have $1, I have $2. You can say, okay, so dollars you can count dollars. So I have $5, I have $10. You cannot say I have 5 money or I have 10 money. Okay, so money is uncountable. So how much ink is there in the bottle? The bottle is half full. How much water is there in the glass? The glass is full. Or we can say, how much coffee is there in the cup? Or you can say, the cup is empty. Okay, the cup is empty. That means there is no coffee. You can say the cup is empty. Or how much juice is there in the glass? The glass is half full. Or you can say the glass is full. Okay, good. Okay, now we're gonna use how much for price. How much is an orange? $2.50. $2.50. $2.50. Okay, $2.50. $2.50. Okay, so it's $2.50. Okay, 250. But in Taiwan, you do have cents. Okay, good. So you don't have cents in Taiwan, it's only dollars. But in the US, there is cents. So 250. So how much is a marker? It is $45. Or how much are these markers? They are $300. Okay, our age. Now we go to how old. How old is used for age. So remember, how much is used for quantities of countable nouns. Countable nouns, how much. Uncountable, and you can use how much for price. Okay, now we go on how old. How old is used for age. How old is John? He is 10 years old. How old is Thomas? Thomas is 5 years old. How old are you? I am 5 years old. Okay, good. So how old is John? How old are you? Now let's just go down. Okay, are we good? Now we go to frequency. Okay, how often? Okay, so how often? That's how often that you go to school is like a frequency. How many times a week do you do something, or how many times a month do you do something? The frequency. Okay, so how often? How often do you go swimming? I go swimming every day. So how often do you go to the beach? I go to the beach once a year. So remember, once a year, 2 times you say twice a year, 3 times a year. Okay, so how often? Okay, so how often do you brush your teeth? I brush my teeth 3 times a day. I brush my teeth twice a day. How often do you go shopping? I go shopping once a week. Okay, so 1 time you say once a week. Good. Or you can say, how often do you go to the beach? I go to the beach once a month. How often do you play soccer? I play soccer every day. Good. How often do you watch TV? I watch TV every day. Good. So how often? Now we go to the last one. How tall? Height. Okay, so your height. How tall is Mary? She is 145 centimeters tall. How tall is Tom? Tom is 120 centimeters tall. How tall are you? I am 120 centimeters tall. Okay, good. So remember, how many countable nouns? How much uncountable nouns? Or how much used for price? How old? Age? How often? Frequency, so how many times you do something over and over. And how tall talks about your height. Good? So now let us turn to page 45. Page 45. Good. So 45 is we need to put the answer, write down the answer. Good. So number 1, how dash people are there in your family? Can you count how many people in your family? 1, my father. 2, my mom, my brother, my sister. 3, my grandma. 4, you can count. So they are countable, right? Good. So how many? Good. Good. So how many people are there in my family? So you have 4. Is or are? 4. Plural, more than 1. So there are 4 people in my family. Now let us go number 2. Okay, so we have a little. So remember, okay, so a little is like uncountable noun. So how much water do you have in the cup? Okay, there is a little water. Okay, good. So chalk. Okay, so you see how much chalk is uncountable. So how much chalk is there in the box? There a little. So you see there is. Okay. There is only a little. There is a little. Good. Now we go to number 3. Price. You see $100. The price. So what do you use for price? Much. Very good. So how much? How much is the dress? It is $100. Number 4. Age. 3 years old. You want to know her age. So the age. So this is the age. So you want to know her age. So we say how old. Very good. So how old is your sister? She is 3 years old. How old is your brother? He is 25 years old. Now number 5. How does Tom clean his room? He cleans his room every weekend. The frequency. So how often? O-F-T-E-N. Okay, good. Now let us see the answers before we go to number 6. Okay, so here are the answers. Good. Okay. So these are the answers. Good. So number 1 we have many. 2 are much, is, very much, old, and often. Good. Now let us go down to number 6. Number 6. Remove the answer. We go to number 6. Oh. 6, we go to number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Okay, so we can go again. Good. Number 6. How dash is that building? It is 100 meters tall. You want to know, okay, how tall are you? I am 100 centimeters tall. So you want to know the height of the building. So how tall? How tall is that building? It is 100 meters tall. Good. Now let us go to number 7. Students. Can you count the students? Yes. So question would, we start with very good. How countable? How many? How many students are there in the class? 24 students. So you say there are 24 students in my class. Rice. Can you say 1 rice to count the rice? It's uncountable. Okay, so you can say how much. Okay, how much rice is there in the bag? Now, how much rice is there? How much water is there in the glass? How much milk is there in the box? Okay, so countable. So remember, countable words, you can use a little, a lot, of, you can say half full, full cup, or you can say half full, or you can, okay, so you can use, okay, there is a little water in the cup, there is a lot of water in the cup, there is, okay, the glass is full, okay, or you can say the glass is half full. Good. So now, how much rice is there in the bag? There, remember, there is a lot of rice in the bag. Does go camping twice a month. Frequency. So how often? How often does she go camping? She goes. Very good. Remember, go es, and before you add es. She goes camping twice a week. Your father, you want to know his height. So how tall? How tall is your father? He is 100 centimeters tall. So now let us see the answers. Good, so let's go answers. Good, so now we go down to number. Good, so number 1, number 6, tall. Number 7, how much? There are, how much? There is, how often? Goes, how tall? Good. So I'm gonna give everyone 1 point for your target grammar. Good. Very good. So we did our target grammar page 44 and 45. Very good.